ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? Even though my main demographic is men, I think we are on episode 7 now of MMA Mondays. Pretty crazy. We're on episode 7. It's not that far in, but didn't think I would make it as far like I talked about last week. Before we get into everything though, this week I want to thank everybody that tuned in this past Saturday for the watch party that I did for UFC 262. That was I just tried it out. It was something new. Didn't really know how it was going to go. I had a pretty good show out for my first one. A lot of you guys were talking in the chat, sharing your opinions on the fights and everything, just having some conversation. I really enjoyed the conversation. I really appreciate everyone that came through. I'm going to start doing that. I don't know if I'm going to do it for every single like fight card, or if I'm just going to do it for like the pay-per-views, big cards, whatever. Whatever you guys let me know if you guys want me to do them for every single card, big cards, pay-per-views. Let me know. But I really enjoyed doing those. I'm gonna start doing those more often. If you guys did miss out on those, I would advise you guys to tune in because it's a good time. I really enjoyed the conversation. It was like 4 hours or something like that. It didn't even seem like 4 hours. So I guess time flies when you're having fun. I had a great time with you guys. So like I said, if you guys did miss out, I highly advise you guys to tune in whenever the next time is, whether it be this Saturday or maybe next pay-per-view. You guys just let me know when you guys want me to do it. I did try the after party as well. The after party was a little bit hard because I had to edit the reaction video because I did the watch party for the prelims, saved the reaction, the main card and everything for the reaction, so I didn't go live for that. And then I was going to edit my video. I was editing my video while I was watching the fights, and then obviously the main event ended, so I had to edit that and try to get that up as soon as I possibly could. And then by the time I got around to everything else, getting the after party and everything set up, it was almost like 2 in the morning where I'm at. So it was pretty late. And then I couldn't do like another hour stream at that point because my brain is fried. It's 2 in the morning, and it just wouldn't have worked out. Harish, how we doing? Harish is probably laughing at me because it was probably like early morning by the time the main event wrapped up. But it wasn't very I don't know. It wasn't too bad, but it's definitely a dedication and a grind and something. If I'm going to do the after party, I'm going to need some motivation. I'm going to need some people to tune in and something like that. But thinking about, let me look at these topics. First thing I guess I'm going to get into, UFC 262 recap. Oliveira deserved it, man. When he felt like I know, I felt like I won too. I was really excited. I was, this kind of segues us actually into the 262 recap. I was really excited simply for the fact that I think it's a bad look, and with everything that's going on in the combat sports world between boxing, Jake Paul, Logan Paul fighting Floyd Mayweather, Jake Paul knocking out Ben Askren, MMA combat sports world is all in this big weird, there's a lot of craziness going on. And then now we have like Demetrius Johnson losing, who was considered to be like the GOAT at one point in time, losing in his championship fight at 1. Anthony Pettis getting beat. A lot of UFC guys getting beat in other promotions. And then we have a Bellator guy, one of Bellator's best, coming over and trying to he did fight for the lightweight championship. Lost, and I think that personally, I wanted to maybe see Chandler win simply for the fact that he could be an American champion, because there is no American champions in the UFC. But I really like Charles Oliveira more. He's a UFC guy. He's been in the UFC for it's 26, 28 fights, however long it was, the longest tracked pretty much to get to the title. I think it's good to have a UFC guy win, just because if we had a Bellator guy come over and win the lightweight belt in one of the historically most stacked divisions in 2 fights, would be a good look. So at least we have some order that is being restored in the MMA world. There is still some normalcy, I guess, and this craziness that's going on. So I guess that's good. But going in, let me just go ahead and dive in. I'm gonna switch over to the other scene here. If you guys can't hear me, I'm gonna make sure, because I often have audio issues and things like that, and I'm not trying to have any audio issues today. So I'm gonna make sure everything, you guys can hear me and you guys can see everything. Let me pull up this. Let me get my mouse over here first. That would help. We'll start with the early prelims, because if you guys were watching along, I know Harish was there. There was a couple other people. You guys were in for the early prelims and prelim watch party. First fight of the night, Sean Soriano, Christos Giagos. I was really rooting for Soriano. I was saying that Soriano was going to knock him out. It was his first fight in the UFC in 6 years. And they looked good. I mean, there was, like, in the first round, they were getting into some firefights. And then as soon as it went to the ground, Soriano, the takedowns are pretty much the tail of that fight. And I think Soriano had a hard time stuffing the takedowns. And oh wait, you are right. Rose is an American champ. I forgot about that. I do forget about that. So Rose is actually the only American champ. And Aljo too. I forgot. You're right, but I don't count Aljo because I still think, even though I'm a big Aljo fan, I'm a bigger Aljo fan than I am Peter. I can't say that Aljo's a champ because I want to see him actually beat Peter in a fight or whatever, finish him, beat him in a decision before I can say he's a champ. But you are right. There is two, and I keep forgetting that because that whenever that stat came out, it was like right before I think both those fights, well, especially the Aljo fight. But anyways, moving on. Aguilar and Tucker Lutz. This was actually a very good fight. Tucker Lutz was pretty much dominating the whole fight. Aguilar was pretty much on the receiving end of a lot of the blows, and Chandler said Soriano is the best striker in the lightweight division. I don't know, man. I think what's his name? There's maybe not the best striker in the division, but there's this one dude, Rafael Fazayev or something. I'm pretty sure he's lightweight. Very good kickboxing. Trains at Tiger Muay Thai. That dude has some phenomenal striking. But Aguilar was on the receiving end a lot of these punches, and he literally he never gave up at any point in the fight. Even towards the end of the fight, was kind of pouring it on Tucker Lutz. Tucker Lutz, he won the fight because he was dominating a vast majority of the fight. But I think Lutz was slowing down, and Aguilar wasn't going anywhere. Even though he was getting beat up pretty bad for the most part of that fight, he didn't go anywhere and is actually starting to put it on Lutz towards the end of the fight. That was actually a very good fight. I'm not sure if this won a bonus of any sort, but I'll give Aguilar props. Even though he's on a 4-fight losing skid now, which is, that's not where you want. It's an awful position to be in your career, but he did perform. Like he showed that he wasn't going down easy, and that was a good fight. Gina Mazzani and Priscilla Cachoeira. That was I'm trying to think, how did this fight end? Did she knock her out? I'm pretty sure she knocked out Mazzani. Let me look. It's not saying. Or am I completely missing it? I could just be completely missing it. I'm pretty sure Cachoeira did knock her out, and Mazzani was winning a majority. Yeah, it's KO right there. It's literally right in front of me. I knew I was missing it. That was a good fight as well. Mazzani was actually looking pretty dominant, and I think Cachoeira just started pouring it on, and she couldn't. Mazzani couldn't really hang. Andrea Lee, Antonia Shevchenko. This one was so frustrating to watch just because I had this in one of my this was the free bet that I had from DraftKings. I put this in a massive parlay and I had Antonia Shevchenko winning. There was so many opportunities where Andrea Lee could have actually submitted her. She had her in a triangle position, literally a locked in triangle for no joke, probably 3.5 minutes, and couldn't finish her. She had arm bars, she had Kimura, she could have switched to all kinds of different things. Finally did submit her, but Shevchenko, it's very frustrating because I was expecting Shevchenko to at least win against somebody on a 3-fight losing skid, and being one of the most dominant female fighters in the world right now. Older sister at that. Maybe you'd be decent. Maybe you're the one beating up on her as a kid. That's why she's so tough. But no offense. You're like Antonia Shevchenko. No offense to you, but you were nowhere near the same skill level as your sister. Because I was really expecting a different showcase than what I saw. Jordan Wright, the Beverly Hills Choir Boy versus Jamie Pickett. This was another really good fight. Pretty fast fight. I was kind of expecting Pickett. I was thinking Pickett was going to go out there and just run through him and blitz him. And Andrea Lee couldn't do a triangle for 4 minutes. I know, it was so frustrating. She ended up switching that armbar, but she literally was holding on to a flipping triangle, locked in triangle, but there was just this least bit of space that Shevchenko was breathing through. It was so flipping annoying, and they weren't even doing anything. I was kind of hoping the ref would stand him up. Even though it's a locked-in submission, it's hard to stand him up. But it was very frustrating to watch. Back to the Pickett fight, though. I was thinking Pickett was going to steamroll Jordan Wright. It is a pick-em fight for Pickett, but Jordan Wright ended up winning. Pickett was going for a takedown on the fence. Wright started raining down some elbows in the name of Jesus, and that wobbled Pickett. Pickett kind of got up, and then they got in a weird little scramble, and Wright had some weird little half trip kind of caught him off balance, and ended up finishing him on the ground there. That was a pretty fast fight, minute and 4 seconds. Another frustrating fight. Lando Venata, Mike Grundy. I was wanting Grundy to win. This judging on this was a little bit screwy. I was still hoping maybe the screwball judges would have maybe given him some edge just to win me some money, because I would have won money if this leg would have hit. But Lando Venata looked good. Grundy just didn't look like he had. He couldn't put everything together. His game plan wasn't there. It was either he was trying to wrestle or he was trying to strike. And in the striking department, he was getting outmatched, even though he was just throwing 1 or 2 shots. He wasn't throwing combos, and he wasn't throwing in volume. He'd throw 1 pop shot, and then that was it. He wouldn't do anything else past that. And when he would land, he was snapping Venata's head back and stuff. But he couldn't mix it in with his takedowns. He wasn't doing a good job, and he wasn't landing his takedowns. And he kept doing the same lazy single and body lock that wasn't working. His high crotch on the fence was working really well. Mike Grundy did really disappoint. Jordan Wright did look good.
But yeah, I was definitely disappointed in Grundy, and even though for someone who had Olympic level wrestling background, didn't he his wrestling just looked lazy. It didn't look like it was. I don't know. It didn't look as very fundamentally, not fundamentally sound, but it just didn't look like somebody like some of those guys are like a leech. Once they get on you, you can't get them off, and he wouldn't like that. Venata won that split decision. Should have been a unanimous decision. Screwy judging. Next fight: Jacare Souza, Ronaldo Souza, Andre Muniz. Another sad one. Another frustrating one. This one was pretty gross. Jacare, obviously, you can see, got submitted the first round. Almost like 4 minutes into the first round, he was like, Muniz was on Jacare's back, and he started shaking him off, and Jacare was basing on the ground, trying to shake him off, and the way his arm got caught, his arm was in really deep, and it almost looked like the way his shoulder was turned, that it was like a shoulder lock of some sort, like maybe like a weird Kimura of some sort. Just some sort of shoulder lock, the way his arm was torqued, but actually it was his arm that was in so deep, and it was like the pressure on it snapped his humerus. It was disgusting. Like, you could hear the snap. If you go back and watch the slow-mo, you can see like the whole, like when they show his back, where Munez, however you pronounce his name, was hanging off Jacare's back. You could see like the angle, like where his muscle, like everything in his back just rippled when his arm snapped. It was disgusting. But yeah, I'm actually probably gonna do a breakdown of that on my channel. I'm gonna probably record it today, have it up within the next 2 days. Pretty much breaking down that submission, because that was disgusting. Moving on to the main card, probably my favorite fight of the night outside of the main event. A lot of people were expecting Burgos to win. A lot of people were really riding with Burgos, and I think, he did look good, but Barboza, those flipping leg kicks were brutal. He was chopping away. As soon as the fight started, just was chopping, whack, whack, whack. He was hitting him so hard that his shin started bleeding and stuff like that. It was pretty, he was ruthless with those leg kicks, and then it was slowing down the movement a lot of Burgos, and he started to catch him with those overhands and those hooks. And then that 1-2 that he hit him with that put him away, that was really weird, because I'd never seen anything like that. I've seen delayed reactions before where somebody, like, they'll get hit or something, and they'll like maybe 2 or 3 seconds, then they react. This was literally 10 seconds. Like, it seemed like it was 10 seconds. He got hit with the 1-2, was looking at him, and he just started like slowly wobbling back. And as he was wobbling back, he was like fading out of consciousness. Like, you could see his eyes. He was fine, and then wobbling back. And as he wobbled back, his eyes were going up. And then when he hit the ground, he was laying face down, like looking straight ahead, and his eyes were just staring straight forward, and he just wasn't moving. It was the weirdest thing. Like, Dana thought that there was something. Yeah, the Burgos reaction was very scary. It was like Dana said, he thought something bad happened. Like, he thought maybe like there was some serious brain injury going on, because it was like weird. It just didn't look like when somebody gets knocked out. Normally they get hit within the first 2-3 seconds, then they're out, or they're going to be reacting to it, not 10 seconds after. It was really weird. Next fight, Caitlin Chikagian, Vivian Araujo. I always have a hard time pronouncing that. Chikagian looked great. Araujo did look good for the first half of the fight, the first round and a half, and then she just gassed out very hard. I think when she had that guillotine on Chikagian, she was squeezing like really, really, really hard, because when she got up, she was really gassed. Like, you could see her stomach. She was breathing with her stomach and everything. And she just after that, she was pretty much done, and that's when Chikagian started pouring it on. And that's I think where the decision. I don't think it should have been a unanimous decision, because there was people that gave like 230-20. I'm pretty sure somebody gave. I don't know, actually. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, the 230-27s are going to be on this next fight, but I think Chikagian won this fight, but I don't know if it should have been a unanimous decision. Probably could have maybe been a split. I wouldn't argue with that. Matt Chanel, Rogério Bontorin. I think I might be saying that wrong as well, but this fight actually was very screwy. I think Bontorin definitely won the last round for sure, no doubt about it. But to say it was a unanimous decision, there was 2 judges that had Rogério winning 30-27, pretty much meaning he dominated the whole fight, first round all the way to the third round, which wasn't the case at all. I would definitely say that Chanel won the first round. You could definitely make an argument Chanel won the second round. If anything, Chanel, he was Bontorin was throwing like one power shot. He'd throw one like solid power shot, versus Chanel, who was throwing way more volume and a way higher clip, and his feints and everything was getting Bontorin to bite and everything like that. I think that there was no. I think Chanel. I honestly think Chanel should have won this fight. Now, Bontorin had a very dominant third round, but I still think Chanel probably was up on the at least the first round. Second round could have been a toss-up. I'd have to go back and watch it. Third round, definitely Bontorin, but I was definitely thinking Chanel won that fight. I don't know. It was a little bit weird, but for 230-27s in that fight, I don't really agree with that because Chanel definitely didn't get 30-27'd. Keeping it rolling, though, to the main event. We got some people in the chat. Judging was shaky on a few of these fights. I do agree. Sorry, I'm very parched. I do agree. It was weird because I was talking about earlier with my dad that there was like the when they talked about before the main event, like who was sanctioning the fight. When Bruce Buffer's talking about like where they are, the athletic commission, all that stuff. It wasn't even an athletic commission. It was the Texas Office of Ticketing and Licensing or something like that. It wasn't like an athletic commission. And when you looked at the gloves too, like it'll say like NV whatever NSAC whatever Nevada State Athletic Commission. This one just said Texas. I'm pretty sure it just said. I just said it like Texas, like I'm from Texas, but it said like TEX or Texas or something. They didn't say like TSAC or Texas Staff or State Athletic Commission, whatever it flipping stands for. It was just weird. So I don't know if they didn't have like a legitimate athletic commission where they got actual judges. Even some of the flipping, I didn't recognize any of the flipping refs except for Mike Beltran and Dan Mergliata, who did the main event. Mergliata did one fight. Beltran did one fight, I think, as well. Everyone else, I didn't recognize any of those refs. So I don't know. It was a little bit weird with the judging and whatever the commission or whoever was sanctioning the fight. Co-main though, Tony Ferguson, Beneil Dariush, another sad one. Again, I'm gonna recap all the bets here in a minute after this, but another sad one for the bets and another sad one just because I'm a Tony fan. I was really expecting Tony to go. I was thinking Dariush was probably gonna he was gonna be winning the fight, but I was thinking Tony was gonna be able to catch him at some point. Please, UFC, give him a striking guys for his next match. I know. I was thinking because I was thinking Dariush was probably gonna try to wrestle him because that's what Oliveira did. It seemed to work. I was thinking that maybe he wasn't gonna have the same wrestling, even though I mean Dariush is a world champ in jiu-jitsu. I was thinking Oliveira is just on a different level, and I was thinking maybe he's not gonna be on that same level. Maybe Tony will be able to catch him. I was thinking Tony was gonna catch him in a Darce, and there was a few occasions where Tony had a Darce locked up. It was just in bad positions. He was in a guard, like a guard position up against the cage, and he couldn't get out to a side control. There was just so many, like he had him, but he just out of position. And I'm gonna talk about Tony a little bit later. I'm gonna recap the bets, and then we'll get into Tony because I have a theory on the decline of Tony Ferguson. We're gonna get into all that, but it's very sad. Dariush looked great. Next fight maybe for Dariush to do Gaethje. He doesn't sound like he wants to fight Gaethje though because he said that him and like when his career was kind of down bad and he was kind of having a rut on losing skid, Gaethje was like help taking care of him, like buying groceries for him, running errands for his wife, things like that. He was helping him out a lot. So I don't know, maybe he doesn't want to fight Gaethje. Pretty much talk about how good of a guy Gaethje is, but I don't know. We'll have to see what's next for Dariush. Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, fantastic fight. Even though this fight lasted 5 minutes and 19 seconds, fantastic fight. Probably my favorite fight of the night, just because the biggest high profile fight, and I mean it was insane. From the first round, you had Michael Chandler clip Oliveira. Oliveira shoots in on a takedown, takes down Chandler. Chandler locks up a really tight guillotine. And looked like for a second, even though Oliveira got out fairly fast. And then Oliveira takes Chandler's back with 4 minutes in the first round, completely dry. There's no sweat or anything. So it's the worst possible scenario for Michael Chandler. Having Charles Oliveira on your back with a body triangle locked in, Chandler ends up getting up, clips Oliveira, puts him down, and has him up against the fence. It was literally back and forth, back and forth. And then Oliveira survives the first round, comes back out. And literally, they were getting into it was like the first or two like exchanges, I guess, in the second round. At the end of whatever the exchange, Chandler didn't have his hand up. If you go back and watch that, actually, I could probably airdrop this and pop it up so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. There was in the exchange that Chandler got knocked out. If you look at where Oliveira's hands are and you look where Chandler's hands are, it's the reason he got knocked out. I think Oliveira, in a technical striking match, I think Oliveira actually would probably knock out Chandler 9 times out of 10 in a technical striking match. Here we go. I apologize. Hold on. I got to figure out. I'm going to drop this down here, and then we'll do something here in a second. But Oliveira came out. I'll finish recapping this. He pretty much came out, caught him on the end of his punches, kept the technical tight guard. Was technical with his combos and everything, and caught him at the end of that hook, that check hook, and put away Chandler. It was pretty sweet when he had him up against the fence. He threw that knee. That knee was so close to landing. Chandler's really lucky that knee didn't land, because I think that knee probably would have been the thing that put him out. But he ended up surviving, and Oliveira just chased him down on the cage, put him away. And I mean, maybe I think that Berglada could have let it go a little bit longer, because I think Chandler wasn't out, and I think in title fights, maybe let him go out. I know it's kind of a crazy thing to say, but maybe let him go out just because it is a title fight. Here we go. I got the picture I'm talking about right here. Look, Oliveira's hands. Wait, can you guys see that? Yeah, you guys could see that. Oliveira's hand is right up at his chin. His backhand, pretty much in case Chandler were to throw some sort of check hook. And then Oliveira is throwing the check hook, and look where Chandler's hands are. His hands are down. That's not, especially against a guy like Oliveira, that's not where you want to have your hands. And I mean, you can see where Chandler's neck, the wrinkles in his neck too, where his neck got jerked. But pretty sweet fight. Oliveira put him away. Now we got Oliveira, who's 28 fights, 26 fights, whatever in the UFC, on a 9-fight win streak right now. Finished 8 of those 9 fights. Pretty insane. I think Oliveira has the potential to be a long-reigning champ, but he also kind of his style kind of does leave him to get clipped, and maybe somebody like Gaethje, somebody like Poirier, Conor, any of those guys really would pose a good threat. I think it could be a toss-up, but Oliveira does have the tools and the skills and everything to be a long-reigning champ, and I'm pretty happy for him. It was nice to see somebody who's grinded, showed up for as long as he has to finally see everything come full circle. Got some people in the chat. Tony is the best fighter to never get a title shot. I do agree with that. I think Tony is championship, or I think Tony was championship caliber 2 years ago. Tony Ferguson definitely could have been champ. I mean, they do have they were kind of promoting Tony as, when they were talking about lightweight champions during the broadcast, they did have Tony up as an interim champ, but I think obviously you want to be the actual champ. But I mean, it is sad that Tony was good enough, and he was right there. Just really bad luck was the reason he never got to see that full title shot. Dariush and Gaethje are close friends, yeah. But the thing is, that's what sucks, is that's the only fight that makes sense in the top 5, because now Dariush should be moving into 5. Number 4 is Chandler. I don't think maybe Chandler moves to 5 and Dariush goes to 4. So you have Chandler at 5, Dariush at 4. And then you got, what we got? Number 3 would probably be Gaethje. No. God, I got to pull up the rankings now. I don't know. But because Oliveira, actually, I don't know. It'd probably be, Conor would move up to 5. I bet Chandler's at 4. Dariush is at 3, Gaethje's at 2, Poirier is at 1, Oliveira is the champ. I guarantee that's the layout. And Poirier and Conor are already fighting. I guess, I don't know. There probably is some matchups in there. So I don't know. I don't know who, maybe the Burgos, the Gaethje and Dariush fight isn't the fight to make. I don't know. Well, we'll talk about matchmaking after we talk about all this. I'm going to get to the chat, and then we can talk about matchmaking. Dariush, see you at the top. Yeah, exactly. See you at the top. But you gotta make sure you have your hands up. You gotta be technically sound if you're gonna be fighting in world title fights like that, especially at the highest level in the cream of the crop against the cream of the crop in the UFC. Man, I said everyone Chandler would get Chandler. Like Luke Rockhold Compass, the same thing happened. Dude, I think Chandler might actually have a little bit of a shaky chin too, because I feel like that was the first clean shot that Oliveira really landed, and it kind of sat him down. And also, if you look at Chandler's record, he's lost 6 title fights in his career. I don't know exactly how many title fights total he's been in. He's lost 6 title fights in his career. 5 of those in Bellator, 1 in the UFC. I mean, Chandler talks about, I do believe Chandler's world class, but I think Chandler's biggest threat is that first round and that power and the blitz in the first round. After that, he's like, once he loses that explosiveness, I don't know how dangerous Chandler really is. The judges really effed up, like, WTF, dude. 2 judges gave 10-8 round for Chandler. The first round, it's just 10-9. Wow, I didn't know that. That's actually kind of crazy. They gave it, again, I wouldn't be surprised if whatever commission or whoever sanctioned that fight, maybe they because Chandler had the American flag and everything, maybe they were just rooting for their American dude, but I don't think you could give it 10-8 to Chandler. Come on. 10-8 when Oliveira had his back. I don't know. I don't think you give it 10-8. Oliveira really, he very well is a very well technical striker. I think personally, RDA is at 6. Oh wow, that's kind of crazy that RDA is at 6, as old as he is. No, but I think Oliveira, honestly, technically, overall skill right now, besides Makachev, because I mean I want to see Makachev fight somebody in the top 5. Right now, I mean, since he's a champ, like in terms of grappling ability, again, excluding Makachev, and striking, I think overall, Oliveira might be the most well-rounded guy in the division. I want to see Makachev or Makachev, however you say it, fight a top 5 guy, but I honestly think he might be the best guy. That the way everyone makes it sound, the way he looks, especially he dominated Drew Dober. Drew Dober again is not a top-ranked guy, but he's a tough dude. He's definitely no pushover. Chandler is 6-6 in title fights. Wow, that's not that good. You've had 12 title fights in how many fights? Like almost a little less than 30, so like maybe 28 fights. I don't know exactly how many fights. Let's look at Chandler's record. Maybe we can pull it up right here. They may not have it, but he has less than 30 fights, I believe. So half in his career, half of his fights have been title fights, and he's won and lost. He's pretty much 500 in title fights. That's not very good. I don't think they got his record in here. That's too bad. Let's see. For this to be a 10-8 for Chandler is kind of nuts. Oliveira had 4 less strikes, 6 less significant strikes, and he had 1 takedown on him. How is that a 10-8? That's pretty crazy. And Oliveira had 2 knockdowns? I guess, yeah, because he dropped him and he got back up and then dropped him again. That's kind of crazy. What submission attempt did Chandler have? Oh, the guillotine. That's right. I forgot. That's I don't know. I don't know how. You're right. That for that being a 10-8, that's kind of crazy. Matchmaking though for these guys. What's next? Let's go ahead and look at since we are on the UFC website, might as well look what the rankings are. Let's do a little bit of matchmaking. See what's next for pretty much everybody. Ferguson, Dariush, and Oliveira, Chandler. Let's see where we at. Lightweight. So we got Chandler or Oliveira should be up here. Poirier's number 1. Gaethje's number 2. Probably Dariush should be number 3 in my opinion. Number 4, Conor. Number 5, Chandler. I'd say. I honestly think Conor would probably knock out Chandler. Let's see. So we got Poirier and Conor fighting each other. So there's 2 people out of the way. Ferguson probably isn't going to fight Gaethje, and he probably isn't going to fight Chandler. I could see Dariush and Chandler. That wouldn't be a bad fight. Or Gaethje and Chandler. That would be a very good fight. Honestly, I would rather watch Gaethje and Chandler. That'd be a way better fight. Winner fights for the title after probably the Poirier-Conor winner. And then maybe you do, I don't know. You can't do Dariush and Tony because they already fought. I don't know. Maybe do RDA and Dariush. I don't know. But Dariush probably needs to be fighting up in competition. But I feel like the way the UFC would probably want to do it, they would want to do Gaethje, Chandler. I feel like that's what Chandler and Gaethje would both want to do. And that'd be a very exciting fight. Somebody's getting knocked out for sure. Poirier and Conor winners definitely fighting for the title. Tony versus Cowboy 2, that would be a bad fight, but what do you do there? I mean, like, the winner retires and the loser retires. Like, that's honestly what it should be, but I don't know. I'm going to talk about Tony and Cowboy 2 here in a second, but I don't know. I think Poirier-Conor winner fights for the title next. Gaethje Chandler winner should fight for the title after that. Let Chandler heal a little bit, so by the time he heals and him and Gaethje fight, maybe Gaethje Dariush fight in between if that does happen. I don't know. Maybe they probably won't make that happen, but that's probably the lay of the land for the lightweight division. But Tony Ferguson, what is the cause of the decline for Tony Ferguson? Harish has mentioned Tony vs. Cowboy 2. Tony vs. Cowboy 1 was actually the last fight that Tony won, and if a lot of you guys remember, Tony Ferguson right here, in 2019, his wife actually had a restraining order on him, pretty much saying she was paranoid, he's delusional, he's like kind of in a psychotic episode. And we all know Tony's one of those guys who's too tough for his own good. You saw his leg get pretty much shredded to bits in a heel hook last fight, this past Saturday. Fight before, gets his arm completely hyperextended and popped by Charles Oliveira. You literally have to kill the man to put the man away. I'm just suggesting maybe, I don't know, I'm not confirming, but there's evidence that may point to the fact that maybe Tony is starting to decline a little bit, and maybe mentally his brain might be deteriorating a little bit, and that could be the cause for his decline in his fighting. Because It says here, this was in 2019, and the last fight he had, during this whole episode, and then he fought Cowboy. So after his fight with Cowboy, that was the only fight that he won, and then he fought Gaethje. And I think obviously he probably would have beat Cowboy because a lot of people beat Cowboy. But I think maybe Gaethje or Tony Ferguson was starting to decline in 2019 mentally. Because, like, if you read into it, it's like his wife was talking about how he said there was a flood that was going to be coming. He woke his family up in the middle of the night, like 2 in the morning. His wife and his son said, we gotta drive to California. I have a life raft for us. And, like, they were, like, in the middle of driving to California in the middle of the night. His wife told him, like, he's, like, kind of losing his mind. He needs to get some help, and he agreed to get help. And then he continued to go on, think, like, there's other things where his wife said that he would stand over her in the middle of the night, calling her a witch, trying to figure out, like, he was like, you're not my wife. What'd you do with my wife? And all this stuff. And then would tear apart the house thinking that people were, like, watching him, like the vanity mirrors, like the mirrors in his bathroom, thinking there was, like, people behind there, like things behind there watching him. Said there was, like, he thought there was doors underneath the fireplace in his house, was tearing his house apart, thinking there's people in there, like, watching him and stuff like that. Thought when he had his knee surgery for his, when he tripped over the wire against, in Brooklyn, thought that there was a microchip in his, like, a tracking device in there. And, like, it sounded like mentally he was, like, not there. Like, whether it be, like, a psychotic episode or, like, could be something fighting related, CTE. And then his only fight after that was Cowboy, which I would expect him to beat Cowboy. And then he obviously had the pandemic and everything. And then his fight after that was Gaethje. Looked pretty. I mean, he did hurt Gaethje at one point, but got dominated the most part and got the snot beat out of him. Took damage, serious damage in that fight. And that damage could have expedited things a lot more. His deterioration as in his brain and as a fighter. And then the Oliveira fight didn't look good at all. Looked completely flat. And then this fight as well. His movement, the way his striking, his movement, the way he was pulling out, like, with his head up. Like, I mean, I know Tony's unorthodox, but he looked very static and not fluid. He looked like he almost didn't train, or like he just wasn't in shape. Like it didn't look like Tony. I got people in the chat. Dan Hooker on a 2-fight losing, Tony on a 3-fight losing. That is a fight that makes sense, but I don't want to see that for Tony. Hooker would beat him. I don't want to see that fight really. I think Tony and Cowboy 2 would be good just for the simple fact that it ended with the eye and everything like that. But I don't know about that would be a that would be a beatdown for Tony. I did not see Tony's tweet after the fight. What was that? And the Tony story is sad because he's somebody, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he had some gym wars. He's somebody that's too tough for his own good. Like, he's somebody that would just put himself through the fire over and over and over again just to make himself better because he wants to be champ so bad, because he wants to be the best so bad. And, I mean, like, he doesn't quit. There's no quit. You literally have to, like, take consciousness away from his body, whether it be knocking him unconscious, choking him unconscious, killing him. Like, that's what you're gonna have to do to beat Tony Ferguson, because you're not gonna break him. You will not break him, but Tony Ferguson might be breaking himself, and that might be the issue. And I think he might. I'm just speculating. I'm not saying that this is the case, but I'm saying if I'm looking at the timeline, because a lot of people haven't really talked about this as of recently, and it kind of. He's definitely taken damage. There's no way you cannot say Tony Ferguson has not taken damage in his past 3 fights, especially in the Gaethje fight. He's taken more damage in the past 3 fights over the past year than he's taken in the past 10 years. And not to mention the psychotic episodes his wife's been talking about. There could be some mental brain deterioration going on. And I hope to God that's not the case, but again, that's the price you pay with fighting, and fighting's not a very forgiving sport. It does suck, but I don't know. It sucks to be a Tony fan, but I almost want to say he should retire, but you can't. It seems like you shouldn't just say that, because I don't know, but like it's hard because he went from being on a 12-fight win streak on a 3-fight losing skid, so it's like you can't just be like, all right, you got to retire now, but. It doesn't. All signs point that he should retire, because it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. But I'm curious to see what that tweet was, Harish. You got to tell me what that tweet was, because I didn't see that. What else do I got? We could preview the fights next week. Pretty good, or at least I haven't looked at the card, but the main event. This is literally my first time looking at the card. Very exciting fight. This is another fight I don't see going the distance. I don't know who to pick. We'll get into it here in a second. Let's go to the prelims. What we got? Whew. Josh, or wait, no. Jesus, this is a flipping stacked prelim. I got like a yawn coming on. You guys ever get that feeling? Whew, there we go. Where it feels like you got a yawn and you can't yawn. Finally, as I was saying, it was coming out. First fight though, Stephanie Egger. That's an interesting last name. And Sarah Alpar. I don't know much about either of these two fighters. Maybe I don't know. I'm gonna go with Stephanie Egger. I like the last name, the Egger. Rafael Alves and Damir Ismagulov. I'm almost certain that Ismagulov is a massive favorite, so I'm just gonna say him because I've seen him on some of the betting, whatever the sports books, and I was gonna use him for one of my multi-event parlays. Tony said that he would never quit, never tap. I agree with that. I think, and I believe Tony is that kind of person. Like literally, you gotta like separate consciousness from Tony's body in order to beat him because he won't quit. But I'm going with Ismagulov on this fight. Just I don't know much about either of these two fighters, but Ismagulov's a massive favorite. Damir Hadzovic and Yancy Medeiros. Probably going with Hadzovic. Medeiros is just like a journeyman guy. He's a fun guy to watch. He's a tough guy. He'll beat some people. He'll lose to some people. He's just somebody. I feel like he's more of a stepping stone for people. I'll probably go with Hadzovic, but I really don't know much about Hadzovic. I like Medeiros, but it was like he posted some pics and cartoon pics, Tony tweets. And then moving on to the next fight, Josh Kulabo and Shah Yalan. I don't know anything about either of these two fighters. I'm not sure if I've seen them fight. Just because I can see Kulabo's face, I'm going with him. Just because I don't know much about Shah Yalan. Bruno Silva and Victor Rodriguez. I think Silva might be on a little bit of a losing skid. If he's not, I'm not sure. But I know he's one of the dominant MMA guys. And let me see. I might just, if he's on a losing skid, I might just go against Silva. Bet against or pick against Silva. These aren't official bets too. I'm literally looking at these for the first time. This is there's no research, no film study or anything going into these. I wish my Tapology would load so I can see Mr. Bulldog's record. All right, well Tapology's not loading for me right now, so I wonder if I can just pull it up on the UFC thing. They got their last couple fights. I don't know if my Wi-Fi can handle this. Loading all this flipping information. Let's try this. No, okay. So he beat JP Buys actually. Because I had the buy sweep. Him and his wife Cheyenne and JP were fought on the same card. Both got beat. Or actually. Yeah, I believe this is the card I'm thinking of. But he's won one of his last three. I don't know much about Victor Rodriguez. He's 5-3. That's not that good of a record to be 8 fights in and have 3 losses, but you can always turn it around. Adrian Yanez, they got knocked out by Adrian Yanez. He was probably a late replacement. I'm going with Silva actually, just because it seems like Rodriguez may have been somebody that got in like on a short notice, just to, like off the regional scene to be a sacrificial lamb for Yanez, because Yanez is probably going to be a stud. He's got some pretty solid hands. Court McGee, Claudio Silva, probably going with Court McGee. I like his story. He's a tough dude. He's like one of those. I don't know. He's not like a. I don't want to say he's a journeyman, but just a tough dude. He's got a great story. Very well rounded. He's pretty skilled. Kind of like a Darren Elkins type of dude. Keeping it rolling, Ben Rothwell, Chris Barnett. I really don't know. I might go with Big Ben Rothwell just because he's a flipping weirdo. I don't know. I'll go with Ben Rothwell, but I really don't know. So these heavyweight fights are a flipping poop shoot. Bill Algeo and Ricardo Ramos. I think Ricardo Ramos might be and again, he's been pretty shaky in a lot of his last couple fights. Algeo, I think he might have lost his last fight as well. I really don't know. I might go with Ramos just because he's a little bit more experienced. I want to say he's the more experienced fighter. I'm almost certain that should be. I should know that. I'm gonna keep looking at these because literally, like I said, this is the first time I've looked at any of these fights. There's no research being done. Why did I go to Tapology? Tapology's flipping servers are taking a dump today. The hamster on a wheel running their servers is getting a little tired. Maybe he's run out of water. Let's see. He lost to Lerone Murphy. He's just shaky. But he has a little bit more UFC experience, I believe. Unless Algeo actually has more fight experience. But let's see who has more UFC experience. Yeah, he did. Ricardo Ramos definitely has more UFC experience. I really don't know, man. This is kind of a poop shoot of a fight. He might get. Oh, he lost to Ricardo Lamas. So I'm gonna say he's gonna lose to Ricardo Ramos. I'm getting the Ricardo sweep. That's what we're going with, the Ricardo sweep. Sounds like you voted right or what? No, I haven't heard of it, Andrew. I'm sorry, I voted. Are you talking about the which fight? The Rodriguez fight or the Silva fight? I was going with Silva, if that's what you're talking about. Let me see. I got people on the chat. I'm trying to catch up. Does anyone else have the any experience with the verdict app? Oh yes, that's another thing I was going to talk to you guys about, the verdict app. We could talk about that in a little bit. No, I haven't used it, but I heard it's like a. I've heard of what it's in. It sounds like voted. Yeah, it's like a. We'll get into that in a second, actually. But no, I'm going with Ricardo Ramos on that main card. Keeping it rolling because I gotta get through these, and I'm gonna go back and forth. I'm going with Jack Hermanson. I think throwing Hermanson to Shabazian after coming off his first career loss, being undefeated, and a young guy like this, it's good. This is a tough fight, and I feel like his confidence might be affected a little bit from that Brunson fight. And to face someone like Hermanson, who again could come with that grappling approach, and probably will come with that grappling approach, and probably will be pretty successful with it, and can hold his own on the feet, I'm going with Hermanson. I think this is a tough fight for Shabazian. Raulian Pavia and David Dvorak. I'm going with Dvorak. One of another tough guy from the Czech Republic or Czech Republic. I have not Czech Republic. Like Yuri Prochazka. I'm going with Dvorak. Felicia Spencer and Norma Dumont. I'm going with Felicia Spencer. Justin Tafa and Jared Vendera. I believe Vendera is off of the Contender Series from last year. I'm probably going to go with Tafa, though, just because Tafa's experienced UFC fighter. I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing this. Yan Jianan and Carla Esparza. I'm going with Yan, though. A lot of these Chinese fighters coming up, there's a lot more burst on in the scene. She's been fighting the UFC for a while, but a lot of these Chinese fighters are pretty tough, and I'm probably going to side with her. And let me see if I can find like her last couple. They don't show their record over the past couple fights, which is kind of annoying. Who's got the pretty even fight in terms of size? But no, I'm going with Jan in that fight. Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt. I really don't know. I want Cody Garbrandt to win. I'm a Cody Garbrandt fan, but something tells me Rob Font's probably gonna win. He's got some serious hands, and I think he might draw Cody into a firefight, and he probably could knock Cody out. Especially Cody's chin might be a little bit shaky. I really don't know. And Font's got power. I like Garbrandt too much for me to just definitively say Font's gonna win. I would say this fight not to go the distance. That's my official guess on this. I want Cody, but something tells me, my heart's telling me Font. That's what I'm guessing. I found it after Saturday night card. I'm going to try it this weekend. Jack Hermanson, yeah, I think Jack Hermanson. And honestly, if that's something you guys want to do too, the verdict app. Pretty much you guys can like add people, you add friends, I'm pretty sure, and you guys can like you just pick the fights who you guys think's gonna win for the card. I think it's only the main card though, which is kind of lame. You pick like what round, if it's gonna be a finish of some sort, how knockout, submission or a decision. It pretty much put like how much your confidence meter and all this stuff, and you get your picks in, and you can compare picks with everybody else. I think that'd be cool if that's something you guys want to do. We could all get the verdict app. I gotta see what my name is. Actually, I'll just give you my name right now, guys. If you guys do have the verdict app downloaded, I'll give you guys my name, and then we could share information, or I guess not information, but share our picks. My name is Zanny Sapphire Loon. It's Z, capital Z, A, lowercase a. So the first letter of the words are going to be capital. Everything else lowercase. Capital Z, lowercase a, N, Y, capital S, lowercase a, P, P, H, I, R, E, capital L, lowercase O, O, N. Zanny, Zany, whatever, Sapphire Loon, all one thing. Maybe if I flip it around too, you guys can screenshot that, take a look at that, whatever. If you guys want to add me, we can share picks, and I don't know, that's something to talk about too. When I do the watch parties, we can share our picks, talk about our picks, and give each other crap as the fights go on, whoever's right, whoever's wrong. Harish also has Cody. I want, that's why we both want Cody, but I don't know. Something in my heart tells me Font might knock him out, but I don't know. I think what are we at on time for this episode? Wow, we're at 45 minutes. That's crazy. I was thinking we're only at like 20 minutes. That's why I said where are we at on time. I actually might wrap it up here though, guys, because I was like running out of topics. I'm like, it's almost. I was thinking we're only 20 minutes in and I'm running out of topics. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's podcast. Zany Sapphire Loon. Yes, sir. You got that spelling everything correct. Just put it all one thing. No spaces, and you were correct. And everybody whatever signs up, I think it'll show me like whoever adds me or whatever. Everybody, I'll just follow everybody back. I don't know who's who, but I think you might be able to change your name. But if we all got weird, wacky names, I'm just gonna follow everybody back. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Really enjoyed talking to everybody, the conversation. If you guys also, like I said, want to tune in for the watch parties, let me know if you guys want me to do those for every single fight card. Just big fight cards like you guys want to see like this week, and I'd consider to be a pretty decent fight card just because of the main event. Just pay-per-views. You guys let me know what you guys want me to do. If you guys have any other video ideas you guys can't talk video ideas you guys want to see me do, like I said, I'm gonna be doing a breakdown of the Jacare submission, just talking about that, breaking that down, and then I might have some other video ideas this week. I'm not really sure, but if you guys have any ideas of things you guys want to see me do, just let me know and I will do them. I'm literally willing to do anything. That sounded weird, but I'm pretty I'm open to ideas, so let me know. And like I said, if you guys want me to, like I say every week, if you guys want me to do my picks, I'm gonna start doing my picks every week for the betting, so you guys can tail my bets. If you guys want to tail my bets, we had that's what we did not do. Wow, how could I forget that? We have to recap the bets. I had my worst weekend since I did this. My first losing weekend. Look at the bets right here. All three bets pretty much didn't hit because, I mean, like the parlay, if we're going off overall fight outcomes, which is what I base this record off of, overall fight outcomes I've picked, I've had 17 overall fight outcomes I've picked over the past 3 weeks. I've correctly picked 14 of those. That's my record right there, pretty much 82%. Grundy moneyline, that one took a dump, didn't hit that. Oliveira Chandler not to go the distance, inside the distance, that was like a lock. I feel like literally it was just such a back and forth fight that was guaranteed not to go the distance. Ferguson moneyline, heartbreak, that one sucked. Obviously that one didn't hit. Souza moneyline, that one sucked as well because he got his flipping arm snapped. But I mean, all props to Muniz. I mean, I'm not saying it was unfortunate, like his arm snapped, and that's why he lost. But it was all perfect execution on Muniz's part. Pretty bad weekend for me, my first losing weekend ever, but I really don't care. We're going to keep it rolling. I'm still, like I said, mentally undefeated. Even though it's not the O'Malley record, I really don't care. I'm going to keep it rolling. I'm going to sweep this next weekend. I guarantee you I'm going to sweep this next weekend. And if I don't, I don't know. I'm going to make it back to you guys, though. We are going to come and we're going to kill it this weekend. I'm not going to lose like this weekend. So, my boy Selvey, if you're watching the show too, it was your first time betting, and I apologize because I lost you I lost your first ever bet, but a lot of people that I've seen online, a lot of the gambling people or the sports betting, UFC sports betting, a lot of people did not have everyone that I saw had losing weekends. A lot of people picked Burgos to win. A lot of people picked Chandler to win. There was a lot of people lost. It was a pretty unpredictable card this weekend, but I'm gonna make it back to you. I'm gonna make it back to you guys this next weekend, and I don't know. I don't really have much else to say. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys haven't already subscribed. Like I said, like this video, share my podcast, share my videos. If you guys know someone else that enjoy this type of content, I'm really trying to grow my channel. This is what I'm really trying to do. Like, I'm really trying to build my channel to the point where I can make a career out of this and be able to do this full time because I really enjoy doing this. Like, I sat and talked to you guys for 4 hours watching the fights with you guys. This is what I love doing. So if you guys want to see more of this, if you guys want to be able to have more content, all I ask is just to support, subscribe, share my stuff, and that really helps me grow. And I really appreciate you guys who tuning in. I really appreciate all the kind words, everyone talking in the chat. I'll catch you guys next Monday, and I guess I'll probably see you guys before then with another video. And if you guys want me to do the watch party this weekend, let me know. I'll see you guys on Saturday if that's the case. But that's gonna wrap up this episode.